Hey everybody, I'm so excited we get to start learning about, let me show you here. A lot of you like Greek mythology, and that's what we're going to be learning about. So we are going to be reading this, well, not all of it, The Gods and Goddesses of Olympus. And if you know nothing about the Greek mythology, which I just know from when I was in school, I'm going to read you a little introduction so you know where it comes from. And we're looking at this because Greek mythology has a lot of weird words in it that we're not familiar with, and you kind of have to look at the pictures to understand it. It's from their culture. It's from a long time ago. So I'm just going to read you this right here, give you a little introduction. Long, long ago in ancient Greece, some people began telling stories to explain the mysteries of life. Over much time, the stories or myths grew rich and imaginative. The storytellers wove in their customs, beliefs, and theories about life, death, and wonders of nature. The myths were about gods and goddesses, fearful monsters, brave heroes, and mysterious beauties. People believed the myths were true. They worshipped the gods who they believed helped and guided them, and built temples to honor them. According to mythology, the gods and goddesses looked and acted like humans. They married each other, they laughed, loved, quarreled, and fought with each other. But they were immortal. They lived forever because a fluid called ichor, not blood, flowed through their veins. And I will totally mess up a bunch of these words because I do not know how to pronounce them, which is okay. The mightiest of gods and goddesses lived in a golden palace on Olympus, a mountain so high the top was hidden by clouds. They feasted on ambrosia and nectar, the food and drink of the gods. And whenever they wished, they could change and speed down to earth to mingle with mortals. The awesome Olympians earned their thrones on Olympus. They fought a fierce battle and won. This is the story of how it happened. It starts at the beginning of time. So I used to like a perfect example of these words that I'm not accustomed to, ambrosia and nectar. But a lot of times in the story, right next to it has a little hyphen and will tell you what it is, the food and drink of gods. So you're going to have to use a lot of context clues when you're reading the Greek myths, especially if you're not familiar with them. So I'm going to read you a beginning of this. It says, in the beginning, Gaia the earth grew out of dark space named chaos. Gaia gave birth to Uranus the sky. Right here. Uranus rained down on young Gaia, and plants, animals, and rivers appeared. Gaia became Mother Earth, mother of all living things, and mother of the first gods. So I'm going to show you a chart later. You can always keep your own chart if it's kind of confusing. So I don't know how to pronounce this word, Gaia. So let's try and get to focus here better for you. But it says she became Mother Earth. So whenever you see her, you're talking about Mother Earth. So she's the mother of all living things. Says Gaia and Uranus had many children. Their firstborn was the 12 giants, titans, 6 girls, and 6 boys. So the 12 giant titans belonged to Gaia and Uranus. Later, more children were born. 3 were the mighty Cyclops, strong, wide-eyed giants. 3 were the, I cannot say that word, Hecatoncheires, I know some of you know, monsters, each with 100 arms and 50 heads. Uranus hated the Cyclops and the I can't say that word, because they were ugly. He threw them into Tartarus, the deepest pit in the underworld. So again, I know this isn't working. Maybe it would. There you go. That's the word I just can't seem to pronounce. So right here, I don't know what this is. I've never heard this word before, but in the Greek myths and legends, it always says kind of right next to it, it's the deepest pit in the underworld. So that's why I said you're gonna have to use the context clues here. Gaia was furious. She urged the Titans to overthrow their father and rescue their brothers. Only the youngest, Cronus, was brave enough. He attacked Uranus with a sickle and banished him from the earth. So I don't know what a sickle is, but I think it's this thing he's holding right here. So you got to use the pictures. Cronus replaced his father as Lord of the universe, but he was cruel and did not free his brothers from Tartarus. Cronus married Sister Rhea and they had many children. But Cronus was afraid that one of them might overthrow him, just as he had overthrown his father. So as each child was born, he swallowed it. Remember, these are myths and legends. Rhea was horrified. When the youngest was born, she tricked Cronus. She hid the baby, Zeus, in a distant cave, so Cronus would not find him. So if you've heard of Zeus, this is where Zeus came from. Rhea then gave Cronus a stone wrapped in a blanket. He swallowed that and said, blanket and all. Hidden away, Zeus was raised by gentle woodland nymphs and a nymph goat named Amalthea, who fed him honeyed milk. When the baby cried, the Curetis, Zeus's guards, so that's whenever you see this is Zeus's guards, clashed their weapons to hide the sound. Zeus grew into the strongest of all the gods and married Metis, a Titan's daughter. Rhea was still angry with her husband and wanted Zeus to just depose him. But Metis, the goddess of prudence, was wise. She said Zeus needed help, for Cronus had the Titans on his side. So I'm not going to finish this, but if you're interested in it, it is an AR book. It's called The Gods and Goddesses of Olympus. You guys are going to be looking at some stories in Epic anyways that tell the different stories of all the different people in the myths and the legends. But what we want to talk about today is why people say that saying, it's all Greek to me, because a lot of the Greek words are we don't understand them because we're not familiar with that type of language. So let me switch here. Show you this chart. So if you wanted to keep a chart, you could. We're not in class together, so I can't make one. So I just thought I'd show it to you. And I'm going to kind of link this doc so you can see it too in case you're like, what is that? Who is that? So anything with a capital obviously is a person or a group of people. This is why it's kind of hard to read Greek myths and legends because it's a lot of unfamiliar words. So you have to use your reading strategies more than you probably ever had before. So I just wanted you to do that because you're going to be reading some of these stories later, and I want you to just think about that. Yeah, you don't know what these words are, but you can find them, and it'll be okay.